Hello and welcome to the Internet Business School surgery session. I think we're on week 15 now of the free training that we're giving to everyone for everything online and around our ultimate business system software. Okay, so today, my name is Roger Norris. I'm the business manager at the Internet Business School, and I've spent the last sort of 2 or 3 years focused on artificial intelligence. So today we're doing an artificial intelligence section, which will help you create some really cool images for your online escapades. If you're making content in our Ultimate Business System software, then you need great images. Or if you're making content anywhere in social media, all over the place. And things have moved forward pretty quickly in the last 6 weeks. It's been crazy. There's been so much going on. So actually, I've got someone to introduce the session. Just a bit of a demo of what these new platforms can do. So forgive me for being over enthusiastic in a moment, but here we go.
Welcome to today's surgery session, where we'll dive into exciting business strategies and AI insights.
That was me, honestly. That's just an example of the things that you can do at the moment. It's just absolutely crazy, sort of animating slides and making things ping and pop. And I'll show you how I did that later on. Oh, it's a bit scary, a bit scary. Okay, right. So let's have a bit of a deep dive into image generation. And I say there's only kind of one main story in town around this, and that's to do with the introduction of Nano Banana Pro. So Nano Banana Pro is a Google bit of software. I suppose you have to call it software. It's I don't know exactly what it is. It just works. It sits inside devices and inside AI, and it's really, really clever at creating images. It kind of really understands and gets how images are constructed. And the really cool thing about this Nano Banana I'm going to show you is that they've made it really small as well, so it can actually sit inside on your devices rather than working from the cloud. So it's a real push forward. Let's just have a quick look at its capabilities as shown by the Google's own video.
This is your new creative partner, Nano Banana Pro, from Google, built on Gemini 3. Gemini 3 understands your world. So with Nano Banana Pro, you can reflect it, bend it, reimagine it. Take the complex and make it clear, with detailed infographics, intricate diagrams, and text in any style you choose. You can give your imagination shape and form. Craft a brand, visualize it, and then see it everywhere. And when you want to tell a story, Google's Nano Banana Pro gives you control across color, focus, and lighting. In vivid 4K, in every aspect ratio, and with every image securely watermarked. Nano Banana Pro, for your next idea that starts anywhere and ends wherever you take it.
Okay, that is pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I mean, we could just look at that and go, wow, if you're a graphic designer or anything like that, it's just like this software just blows us out the water. But the one thing that I kind of feel that we've got this fantastic software, and I'll show you some of the capabilities of it. But the limitations of making it work really, really well is actually you. It's your human limitations in being able to describe the images that you want to for the models to make for you. Okay, so it's all about understanding images and how they're built up. That's going to make the difference for you, and having the right language. Okay, so that's what we aim to have a little bit of a breakdown on this today. Now, is there actually anybody who has never made an image online using AI? I'm kind of guessing that pretty much everyone will have had a go at making their own images some place or another, because there are, so many different bits of software that you can use to do it inside ChatGPT or Gemini or all over the place. Um, so yeah, so Tony it says Tony, have you never made an AI image? No, Nico. Okay, never. Blimey. Okay, that's not a problem. Um, there's maybe you just haven't had the reason to do so, but you want to. Okay, that's good. Uh, we all want to, because you know creating the right image just for whatever need you've got is so important. And, I remember, you probably remember back in the day that if you wanted an image of something, you had to go through all these sort of free image sites and try and find the right thing, or sometimes you had to take a photograph and and upload it into your computer so that you had the right photograph you wanted. Or you had to pay a graphic designer to go off and use expensive software and create images for you at your request. So places like the outsourcing websites like Fiverr and whatever, they were full of people who were offering to make images for you for every need. They've all gone. Pretty much they've all gone because they've been replaced by AI. Aaron says he's made images using AI, but trying to edit and perfecting the image is such hard work that the AIs mess it up and can't figure out how to get around it. Yeah, it does get to a little bit of a problem. But actually this new software, the Nano Banana, it does make that somewhat easier. Okay, before we sort of dive in and have a look at some of the things that you can do with Nano Banana, I mentioned that they have made it really small. And this is actually, a lot of people have been focusing on the fact that this new software creates fantastic images. But I think one of the most important things about it is the fact that it is small and nimble enough to run locally on any device. Okay, so new Pixel phones are going to have, instant local processing of images on their devices. So you don't have any issues with stuff going up into the cloud and back down again.
Banana, officially Gemini 2.5
Yeah,
Flash
okay.
image.
All right, phone. Sorry about that. My phone wanted to butt in and take over the presentation. I'm sure it was on mute. Sorry about that. Um, shh. Yeah, so there's been a lot of talk about the fact that creating images and lots of images uses lots of processing power up in the cloud. But if Google Gemini are able to run this locally on your device, and you can prevent that sort of extra energy uses. That's going to be much better for everybody and for the environment as well. Okay, so it's quite a big thing. It's better for security and better for speed. Okay, so it's quite a big push from Google. So I think it's quite an important development, that one. Okay, so Nana Banana. Um, how it works and how to get started with it. You can use it either on the Gemini app on your phone, or you can use it inside the Gemini dashboard on your computer. If you've got Google Workspace, you'll have Nano Banana in there as well. Plus, you can access it inside lots of other bits of software that kind of have it's called an API linkage through to through to Nana Banana. Okay, so I can actually find its power in tons and tons of places. But the easiest thing is either using it on your phone or inside a dashboard here. Okay, and it's that easy, just a lot of people are using it for basically this image is something I created with Nana Banana really quickly. To explain, just to demonstrate the different styles and quality you can get from an image. And this wasn't a lot of tricky words to get this, because the models really understand the sort of layout of what makes your the information you're trying to present, what makes it ping to people. So it's really good at that sort of design and engagement style of engagement part of the process. Okay. Um, right. So let's have a look. Oh, look, I did some baked beans. Just again to sort of demonstrate the power of what you can do and the different artistic styles that it's really good at, and also just being able to put all of this onto one slide for me really quickly, and it's very visual and effective. Okay, if you like your baked beans. Okay, um, inside Gemini. Let's have a little look. Okay. Um, let me just check this off on my slides, trying to get things in the right order. Sorry, I was doing this. I was running a big webinar on Monday night, so I've had slightly less time to organize this one. So just getting the process running, get things in the right order. Sorry. Okay. Let's understand the language. So I said that the kind of like the limitations for making images is really about the language that you use. So what this is the sort of optimum structure and things that you need to think about to help AI and particularly Nana Banana deliver the image that you're looking for. Okay, so it would be all very easy to say, create me an image of a cat, um, and it will give you a cat in whatever style it wants to. But if you give it a lot more information and saying, I want a photorealistic image of a cat, or I want a cat that is hyper detailed or pixel styled or anime or cyberpunk, watercolor, all that sort of those different options, that then directs the image creation process much more directly. So you're going to give it a style. You're going to give it a scene, so like the environment, what the cat is in, and also make sure that the cat is defined as the prime subject of the image, the hero subject. Then you're going to give the instructions of what the image is going to look like. So they call this the virtual camera. So you can think about if you're good at if you've done any photography, then these models understand that really well. Or if you've done any sort of filming or anything like that, all those sort of words and terminology ping inside these these prompts that you use for images. So think about things like the lenses. You might want to say focal length or what perspective you're using, or even aperture or composition. When it comes to lighting, you might want soft lighting or backlight or neon glows, volumetric rays. All these different terminologies will make a difference to your picture. And then finally, when you get to adding the extra bit of glow and touch to a picture, it's all about the fine details. Okay, which might be things like glossy finish or matte finish, pastel tones, metallic surfaces, or make the eyes ping with light. All sorts of extra little words you can put in to enhance your image. And you can also finally, you can add it in sort of negative prompts of things that you don't want, like you don't want overexposure or blur or any distortions at all. And if you can think about those bits and pieces when you're composing your image requirement, it will make your final result much closer to what you've got in your mind. Okay, it's trying to get that vision out in words. It's all very easy just saying those are the things that you have to think about, but actually having the words for it is it takes time and practice to understand what types of words you can use. So you almost like kind of like need a dictionary of words for all these styles. And I find I could point you to different websites and directories of lists of words, but I find it simpler to ask AI to give you some advice. Okay, so if I just open up a new Gemini tab, there are some. Here's the option where we're going to ping for creating an image. Okay, but before we get to that, what I want to do is show you how you can use AI to teach you the sort of the structure of image prompts. And they've got an option now, it's been in Gemini, they've got it in ChatGPT, of guided learning. Okay. All right, so I'm just going to give it a quick little prompt here. I want to learn more about the vocabulary of image prompting. So I want you to create a quick syllabus to help me learn how to create a image prompt better to make it optimal. Okay. Guided learning is great. If there's a subject you're not quite sure about or definitely want to learn more about, then you can do this for anything and at any level as well. So if you wanted this for like a teenager or a 7-year-old, or to make it simple for someone who is elderly, then it will adjust its style of language to make it easier. Okay. So this will then take me through, right, here are the core components of an image. Like I said, the subject and the action, what the aesthetics are, the look, the atmosphere, lighting and composition, negative prompts and parameters. So you could quite happily use this to go through and learn more. So if it just said you give the option here of jump to styles or focus on technique or start at the beginning. Let's start at the beginning. Okay, send that through, and it will build up and it will respond to your questions, and you can take it and you can take it into any direction that you like. Okay. So I'm not going to follow through on that one. It's just something you can do to build up your own knowledge of words. So being sort of descriptive is it's something that takes a bit of time and practice to learn. You might be a natural at it and be able to create some fantastic images straight off. Okay, but if you follow this style, this sort of format with your words in your prompt, it will make life a lot easier. Okay, now I did some basic transformations with Nana Banana inside Gemini, and I was able to upload a single image of myself and say, "Hey, just swap me and make me wear a black tie," and it left everything else in the image exactly the same, and just was able to swap over what I'm wearing. Or if I wanted to put a hat on, I could put a hat on. You could change yourself to absolutely anything. And this model is capable of keeping the character inside a picture and then just adjusting the environment around it. Okay. I was able to take myself and create a kind of like a Silicon Valley headshot of myself. Um, I look quite smart like that. I quite like that bloke. Uh, and it's really sort of airbrushed everything out. Um, and this is the sort of prompt that I used to do that. I was just able to upload my own image. It is very posh, Tony. Yeah, I must not show that picture to my wife. I'll be out of here. Um, so I just gave the instruction to kind of attach this photograph I actually attached the photograph of me sitting on the bench and said, right, keep that consistent, dress them a professional navy blue business suit with a white shirt, um, similar to the reference image. In the background, place the subject against the clean, solid, dark grey studio photography backdrop. Okay, so again, these are just sort of words you pick up around and about when you look at sort of photo shoots. Um, it just takes a little bit of time. The background should have a subtle gradient, slightly lighter behind the subject, darker toward the edges, so like a vignette effect. No other objects, and then you put in a photography style. I got a little bit of help with this from AI to because I don't really know about these sort of Fs and 85 mils and everything like that. AI will help me and create a flattering portrait. Um, you lighting, use classic 3-point lighting setup, which is apparently what photographers use. I didn't know that. And I've got a subtle rim of light should separate the subject's shoulders and hair from the dark background. Okay, and various other bits and pieces. Okay, and you just chuck that in with your image and bang, it's really good. So this is all about the sort of structure of words. Okay, does that sort of scare people about being able to create um, prompts like this? Is it kind of off-putting? Because I know when I first started doing it, it was really off-putting um, to try and do something like this. I couldn't, I didn't have the words to help me. Okay, so yeah, Mike says it makes his cameras redundant. Yeah, well, it it might no, actually the quality of the image you get in a camera is still, life can with your human instinct and your human artistic ability is still um, more powerful than AI because it's got your heart and soul into it when you've created an image and framed it. It's got more meaning and more depth. And also if you're into cameras, Mike, then your knowledge of cameras is going to be really important because of that language. Okay. So what I did with my image in here, so I'll just take you on a quick journey, is I just uploaded a quick image of myself that I took in the summertime and just said, here's an image of myself, dress me in a black tie, but leave the rest of the image the same. Okay. And that's where I got that image. Okay. I took myself on a little bit of a journey and said, now dress me like a member of a biker gang. And it obliged. Although it did lose a little bit of the shape, so I'm much more compressed and dumpy. Too much time on a bike and not much time at walking, and too many pies. Definitely too many pies in that one. Um, when I try to go further into the conversation, okay, I then ask it to zoom out so I can see all of me and the bike. Okay, it did that and I got fatter. They say the camera adds pounds, doesn't it? And this camera was adding lots of pounds. And the bike was sort of poking out a little bit. And I don't know where the back of it's gone. And the bench starts going a little bit funny. And then when you continue the conversation, although I got a bit upset there and said, I'm a bit too fat. Can you make me slimmer and more muscular? And it kind of failed to do that. It's got it in for me. Okay, and then I wanted to carry on with the story and say, right, hit the road, create an action shot of me zooming across Waterloo Bridge towards Parliament Square, and it said, no, I can't do that. So I said, I didn't request any public figures, just the scenery across Waterloo Bridge looking towards the Houses of Parliament. And it said, okay, there's a scene of me across Housing of Parliament, but I'm not in it. And then I said, great, I need a close-up shot of me riding the motorbike over that bridge. And it's put me on the pathway. Okay. And then I got a bit bored of that conversation. The reason being is that when I've started in terms of context, I've started the conversation up here. And I've then got to black tie and I've gone to biker gang, etc. And when I'm asking new variations down here, the AI is going right to the very top of the conversation and then running back through, and it's kind of getting a bit confused and it's losing its context all the time. Okay, so sometimes it's much easier to start a new conversation. Okay, so my tactic would be, let's just try it. Let's just download. I've done one step in here and I've got myself into a black tie. Okay, so if I download the black tie and I'm just going to use the exact same words, address me as a member of a biker gang. Okay, so what I'm going to do is add files and upload that image, which will be in my download section in a moment. There we go. And dressing me like a member of a biker gang. Okay. I could hit the create images button, but it's going to automatically know that I'm trying to create an image and pop that in. And hopefully we might get a better version. This is hopefully. This is something I've been finding anecdotally. That if I try to have a long conversation with AI, it starts going off track, particularly a lot more when you're doing images, um, which might have been something. There we are. Okay, so I'm actually got a better shape there. I've had less pies. I'm a road hog as well, and I've actually got a helmet in this one. Good boots. There we are. A little bit of chain. Okay, so actually it is slightly better than the other image that I got in the other thread, just by kind of removing some of that extra unnecessary context in the conversation. Okay, there are times it's with people, this new image creation software, it can be quite difficult to wrangle people. Because it's worried about treading on people's toes, and it certainly won't do anything with public figures. So if I try to tell it to, you know, put me in a photo with King Charles dressed as a biker, it'll probably say no on your bike. There are other models which will allow that, but it won't do that in Gemini. Okay, so sometimes you come up against sort of brick walls in what it will let you do, and you have to use your words to say, no, you can do that, or I wasn't asking you to do anything wrong. Try again. Okay, you have to be quite persuasive with the models. Um, okay, so I had another conversation just to show you some of the capabilities that's going on here, where I uploaded the image of myself in the black tie, and I asked Nano Banana to pan back and show me standing at full body length. Okay? And it's able to then do a pretty good extrapolation of what I look like. Possibly my head's a little bit too big, um, if we were being finicky. But it's done a pretty good job of filling in the gaps. And this is one of the really good capabilities of Nana Banana, that you can ask it to pan around a particular shot, or to take you and put you in a different environment. Okay, so if I asked it to show the view from ground level looking up at me, we've come lower down and having a, a different angle up of eyesight. It's done another pretty good job. Um, Stephanie says handy for dating apps. Yes, the airbrushed versions are pretty good. Okay. I'll park that one there, Stephanie. And I then asked to show a shot from behind, and perhaps I'm heading to the Opera House entrance. Okay, so I'm taking my body shape, and just asking Nana Banana to put it in a completely different environment. Okay, and for some reason, it felt that I had a little bit of a bald patch at the back there. Honestly, how rude of it. But anyway, I'm now got this a pretty similar body shape, and I'm off to the opera. Okay, so we've changed that scene. Now, now we've got a little less going on about people in here. AI becomes a bit more certain about the look of and what's going on in the picture, because bodies are actually quite difficult to put in the right sort of context and right shape in a picture. So actually I then asked it to zoom in and show me the detail on the carved crest at the top of the building. So I was seeing how close it would go into that. So if you just have a quick look, have a look at the shape of this building, okay, and how what the carvings are like. And it was able to then zoom in and do this. Okay, and I have checked it, and it is pretty close. I mean, if you're doing a spot the difference, there's a few little bits and pieces, but all the main structure of it is really good. And so it was just able to zoom in and do that. Okay. But Nana Banana can do all sorts of other crazy things. Okay, so let's see. Let's just try something slightly different. Show me the opera house in a way that an engineer would see it. Okay, so it can take the structure of the building, and it can transform it into a whole load of different sort of styles, so it can interpret it across. Okay, so now we've got a blueprint plan of the Grand Opera House and the main facade elevation. Okay, uh, which is pretty good. We've got all the pillars up there. It seemed to have given it a little bit of an extra roof that I couldn't see in the first image. Um, but it's a style. It's pretty good, and we could have words with this to try and get it to reduce down. Um, Aaron says, "Is this the paid Gemini account, or we can do this on the free plan?" So I have the paid account. I have Gemini Pro, which gives me a lot more um, allowance to create images, but you can still create images on the free plan. And actually, it's good. It's a good point because last week, or this has only been out for like a couple of weeks, Nano Banana Pro, and it has sent the internet wild. People have been making and creating images and little videos all over the place, and the servers at Google have started to melt with the amount of images that have been generated. So actually, at the end of last week, they started to ramp up um, the restrictions of how many images you can make. Okay, I haven't hit any limit so far on the paid plan, but I don't know on the free plan. No one knows exactly how many images they'll let you do at the minute. Kind of depends on the demand at the time, but you can hit restrictions. But honestly, it's getting to the point where in the battle of where if you were to spend 20 quid a month, or $20 a month on an AI platform, does that go to ChatGPT? Does that go to Gemini or one of the other ones? At the moment, Gemini have sort of really rammed ahead with this image capability. It's really very good. Okay. Alan says, is there a way to remove the diamond logo from the image? No, not directly inside of here. Okay. So this is all inside the major AI platforms. They've either committed to or they have introduced AI watermarking of images. Okay. So every image that comes out will have something that says that it was created by AI. Okay, so even if we went into a bit of editing tool and removed this sort of diamond watermark, there will still be um, some code in the image file that indicates that it was AI generated. So if we took this image and then uploaded it into Facebook or Instagram or something like that, those platforms would know that it was AI generated and could potentially flag it. The only way you'd be able to do it would be to um, take this, go into something like Canva and rub it out and do a little bit of editing, and then take a screenshot of it so that you've translated it into a different sort of file format. And then you would remove that sort of bit of AI watermarking. But it's a lot of faff. And at the end of the day, people are people know that we're creating images using AI. Okay, it's not a bad thing. The thing that we want to avoid is people creating and posting bad images, sort of AI slop. It's fantastic to create good images. So I don't think it's a bad thing. Does anyone else have a different view about the sort of creative process and creative rights of images? Um, I'm sure that if people are creators themselves, there's a whole different argument about um, work being used to train AI models. Absolutely, and there's a lot of money floating around and a lot of legal cases floating around on that one. Um, Okay, so Aaron says he's currently paying for ChatGPT for over a year, but I feel it's going a little downhill and not as good now and was thinking of moving to Gemini. Yeah, I think there is a bit of a shift in it. I was saying to one of my training groups the other day in the AI Insiders Club that recently ChatGPT came out with a new model, ChatGPT 5.1. Woohoo, big fanfare. And only sort of I think it was only at the beginning of October that they came out with ChatGPT 5. And realistically, I was kind of looking at it and I can barely see any major changes um in this ChatGPT 5.1. But when we've seen a step up from Google from their Gemini 2.5 to this new Gemini 3.0, it's a noticeable improvement. And I kind of like the writing style of Gemini, particularly for sort of business, for longer form writing. It just seems to be much more sort of professional, user friendly. Right. So yeah, if I only had the funds to pay for one of them, I would be using Gemini, I think. Um, but it's because it fits in around the sort of whole uh, Google software ecosystem. So yes, I think that OpenAI have some work to do. They've got a lot of competition on their tail. There's a lot of pressing through from other platforms like Claude, who've done big deals with Nvidia and Microsoft in the last week or so, and they are a big third competitor. So OpenAI need to pull their socks up. Okay.
The competition for OpenAI is certainly heating up,
Okay. Yeah,
particularly
all
from
right.
Anthropic's Claude, which recently announced a
Honestly. Right. That's going out the room. That is. Note to self for next webinar. Turn your phone off. They're listening. They're listening. Okay. Look, it's me again. Um, Tony says, yeah, do I understand it can enhance photographs? Well, yeah, it's enhanced me incredibly there, Tony. I'm unrecognizable. But yes, you can. You can do all sorts of stuff with photographs. So yeah, let's just give you an idea of that. Um, okay, let's upload my original photograph. Okay, which I think is just here. There we are. Original photograph of me in the garden. And we can say, uh, make this into a 19, 1970s style grainy photograph. I'm not going to go into all the other stuff, but yeah, if we want to go backwards, we can um, go backwards with an image and reduce its quality and make it look like something older or different. It's just a change of style. But yes, you can take old photographs and upgrade them to 4K. So you can really, there we are. So I've now gone back into slightly into the 1970s with sort of faded edges. Okay, we've sent the film off to True Print or whatever it was in the day, and it's finally come back, and we've got our half decent image of a little bit more 1970s colorizations. And Chris says, yeah, he says he's seen it restore very old photographs and colorize them. Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, there's a lot of people who are doing that online. So if you had I didn't honestly, I wanted to go through my photo album and find one of the old sort of grainy photographs and try to improve it for you. But I didn't have time to go up in the attic. Okay. I did have some little attempts with it, which I was showing people and my AI Insiders Club stuff the other day. Okay, so I took the man with tank picture, a famous one from Tiananmen Square, and asked AI to improve it to 4K resolution, and it came out with this. So it was did it pretty well. When you put them side by side, it's gone in a little bit tighter on this one. It's made the bus slightly more modern, but pretty much everything was right. There was a couple of little details that were missing on some of the road markings. I think I spotted that was slightly different, but it was able to easily do that. Okay. And then I asked it to create an image from the point of view of the man in the picture, showing what he would see. And it did that for me. Again, there's a couple of bits and pieces that are missing on the detail, and the bus seems to have disappeared from this side. and reappeared over the other side, but it was still pretty good. So yeah, it's really interesting to try and to push the limits of what it will do. Okay. So just think of this incredible magic box of abilities, and if you can describe it and it's allowed to make it, it will make it for you. Okay. Oh, him again. Right. The other thing that you can do, sorry, if we go back to the prompting side of stuff, okay, is that AI is really good at structuring its own prompts. Okay, so you can um, sometimes if you've seen an image of something and you want it another thing created in that style, then you could upload a reference image and then your second image and say make this one look like that one. And it would be able to do that. So let's just see if we can, if I've got any suitable images that will help with that. This is just a random one that I haven't prepared. Okay, let's just see if there is anything useful. Okay. Um, That's in terms of vegetables. I'll tell you what we might do. Okay, let's just try something different. Let's just take um, a website of I don't know. Let's just take a B&B website, say places to stay near me. Bang. Um, and I'll just take a I don't want to actually stay in a hotel. Just give me the hotel. Okay. I want their own restaurant. So we've got some images of the hotel. Okay. Bang. And so if I just take this image, it won't let me copy it at all. Bang. Just going to take that quick image and capture that one. Okay. Right, so I've got an image of a hotel restaurant. And if I had an image of my front room, okay, dining room pictures. I'm just going to get a stock picture from somewhere. Okay, something like that one. It's got marks on it, watermarks on it. We could take this image here, okay, of just a dining room. Let's see if it will let me do it. Capture that one. Okay. Don't want your cookies. Okay. Right, let's see if this is going to work. Bring your chat in here. Okay. So I've now got two pictures that will be in my screenshots. That one and that one. Okay. Right. And then use the reference image of the hotel dining room to dress my own dining room in the same style. Forget about the spelling slides of that. Okay. But hopefully we can take one bit of reference from here and get it to do this in the same front room. Okay. All right. So it's laid out the table in the same style as in the hotel. I don't know quite about this fluffy chair, but we've kept all the bits of furnishings. Now I've seen people use this to visualize a house. So if you're thinking about buying a new house, then you could take a photograph of the furniture or the setup in your lounge, say, and then take the plans of the new house and ask Nana Banana to visualize your furniture inside that other room. Okay, and it does a pretty good job. It does a pretty good job. I was doing it with a bathroom um, setup and was trying to make some plans of a bathroom for my son and daughter-in-law, and it was able um, to work that out and give them a sort of concept image of what their bathroom could look like, and it was reasonably accurate. It was pretty good. So it's just sort of limited by your use cases, I suppose. Loads and loads of stuff you can do with it. Okay, now I was mentioning about using AI to help you with prompting. Um, and so if I said, let's actually just go back to that one that we've just done there a moment. It's not that one. No, it's that one there. Okay, so if I said, let's try this. Create me a general image prompt to help me dress any room with this sort of reference image. Okay, it's image style. So if you then ask AI to decode that reference image style, um, I don't want it to load Nana Banana. Let's just see if it does without it. Okay, that's not what I wanted it to do. Okay. Sorry, it's just got locked into image generation style. So I would then just go into a new chat, upload the first image, and then go with this reference image. What I want you to do is to create an image prompt of the look and feel of this picture so that I can apply it to any other image. Right, so it's then going to give its own sort of breakdown or of what this image is, and so we could create that image from a prompt. Okay, no, come on, Gemini, you're just being a little bit over the top. Uh, so basically, I've said create an image prompt, and it's just taking it as creating an image. Okay, so I'm just going to change my wording into so I'm going to create a standard prompt of the look and feel of the picture. Let's just see if that makes a difference. Sometimes it's just little words. Oh, it's being annoying now. Okay. All right. I love it when a demonstration goes awry, but hey, sometimes these things happen. One more time to show you how we can get around it, hopefully. Okay. Yeah. Right. Examine this image and create a prompt breakdown of everything that you see if I wanted to reuse the prompt to recreate the image in a different image style in a different image. Sorry, I needed to. I'm not, let's explain that slightly better. Examine the image and create a breakdown prompt of everything that you see. As if I wanted to reuse the image information to recreate that style in a different image. Bang. Let's see if that works a bit better. Make sure it doesn't trigger Nano Banana again. It's loading Nano Banana. It's going a bit mad with me today. Okay. Do you know what? I'm not entirely sure what is happening there. It's being over enthusiastic. Okay. I would have to try and find a different way of doing it. Okay. So Gemini is under a little bit of a cosh because so many people are using it. Let me blame that. Instead of my user error, it's misbehaving. That must be it. Okay. All right. So Nana Banana is fantastic. Just get it open, have a play, use different language, and just see what you can do with it. There are loads and loads of different ideas. Yeah, Michael says, what about recreate the style in a different room? Yeah, something about the language that I was using there in that prompt, it wasn't enjoying. Okay. And sometimes you get that with AI. It can, it gets to that frustrating moment of this brilliant tool, and then you can't get it to do something similar. And it's not its fault generally. It's our fault with the type of language that we're not being clear enough. So I take full responsibility. Let me get rid of all these extra bits and pieces. Okay, so if we are looking at image creation, okay, I say Nano Banana is really, really good. But there are plenty of other image softwares out there. Okay. Tony's letting me off. Thank you. I'll go and stand in the corner afterwards, Tony. Don't worry. But I wanted to show you some of the other options that are out there. Okay, there are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of different image creation places you can go to. I couldn't possibly list them all. But let's just have a look at some of the key ones. ChatGPT. Yes, you can create images inside of ChatGPT in a similar style as we've done in Gemini. Okay, but they take a really long time. It's just something I don't know why they haven't fixed it, but they are just taking forever. Okay, so if I just go back to that original Gemini chat, let's just compare what we did with. I want the one where I become this one here. Okay. Let's take this prompt here. Okay, this is the one that made me into that fancy looking fella. And I'm going to go into ChatGPT and upload the same reference image from here. Okay, and drop that in. Okay, and it spends a bit of time analyzing the image. This is GPT 5.1. Just while this is doing, Aaron says, will this be recorded, be stored somewhere? And yes, it all goes onto our YouTube channel. Okay, Ultimate Business System YouTube. Okay. Oh, this is a new one. Create another image while you wait. You can now ask ChatGPT to make multiple images at a time. Well, that's because it generally takes so darn long, but that's a good one there. Now, we saw how quickly Gemini has been pinging out those images. But ChatGPT 5.1 and its image engine, they take forever comparatively. Generally, the images are really good, but I could have made 2 or 3 or 4 images or 5 images in Nano Banana in the same time. Which is really frustrating. You know, we're busy people. We want things just to go right and ping out the right image very, very quickly. And this is one of the areas that OpenAI is seriously missing out on at the minute. Okay. So yeah, look, we'll have to come back to that because it's just taking forever. Okay, but that's inside the main setup, but you can create images inside Sora, which is the image and video side of ChatGPT. So just go to sora.chatgpt.com and log in with your same OpenAI in logins, and you can create image prompts and videos here. So you can switch over to a video, and if I did the same reference image in here, I just want to see if it does any quicker or any different. Okay, so this is using the image generation outside of the ChatGPT dashboard. You've got a bit more flexibility here, so you can change the aspect ratio and sizing. So I'd be better off at 2:3 size. You can dictate how many variations you have, and you can also add different presets as well of image style. So if I wanted to cartoonify me, I could do all film noir. There we are. Let's try that one and see what happens. Tony says, while that's doing that, he says, can you put in the YouTube link in? Because he's lost mine. Okay, I'll do that for you. Okay, just a moment, see if this works. Okay, no, it doesn't work. My little shorthand doesn't work in here. I'll do that for you, Tony, and we'll see how that's getting on in a moment. I just need a little bit of a notepad here so I can copy and paste it. Sorry. Copy that one, and here comes the link, Tony, and everybody's going to get the link. Why not? Okay. Once I finish this and I cut out all the things that went wrong and fix them so they look really good instead, I'll upload it to YouTube. Okay. Right. Let's just see how that's got on. So at the moment, that is, you see this little one up in the top right hand corner. That's my one image in a queue and it takes so long. Okay, right. That was my Gemini one. I got excited there for a moment. Where's my ChatGPT one? Oh, goodness gracious me. Oh, got a bit older there. It's not as good, is it? It's lost the likeness, as they like to say, in Portrait Artist of the Year, but it hasn't got all the extra bit of lighting and depth around the head. It hasn't got, I don't know. It's not what I asked, is it? It's really not what I asked. Okay. Okay, what's this new thing up here? This is new. Acrobat is now in ChatGPT. Easily crop and remove backgrounds and more colors powered by Acrobat Express. Okay. So yeah, that is a new thing. Uh, I won't go down that rabbit hole at the moment. Okay, but if you want to, you can got an Acrobat edit image in here now. Okay, I'm not sure that's enough to overcome the fact that that really isn't me, and I much prefer my Gemini version. Ah, right. Okay. So yes, you got Sora at chatgpt.com as one option. But let's take you through some of the other things that you might not have thought about. Has anyone used Meta AI recently? Has anyone ever used Meta.ai? I've only kind of used it because I've had to sort of keep up with stuff. And it used to be they're so far behind Meta with these sort of dashboard large language models. But actually, some of the large language models they've been making, like the Llama versions, they're called, are actually really very capable. But they've just had nowhere to put it into apart from inside Facebook and Instagram and in their Ray-Ban smart glasses because they don't have phones. And they haven't really had that sort of online presence with it. But a week or so ago, they quietly launched, well, they quietly launched, I missed the launch, but they launched this sort of Meta.ai platform, which starts looking a little bit more, or a lot more like sort of ChatGPT. And it's more designed naturally for sort of fast social media impact stuff. You can actually create images and videos through here as well. Um, so these are some of the examples that people have made. Uh, duh, duh, duh. Some of them, I can't tell whether these actually have any sound effects with them as well. Sometimes they do. But if you click on the images, you can actually, for a lot of them, you can see the prompt that's behind them of the images or for the videos. Okay, so this one is a large muscular driller taking a selfie, holding an imaginary camera at arm's length, dark glossy fur, big expressive eyes, looking into the camera with a smirk. Um, da, da, da. The gorilla is mid-skydive in the cloud smiling. Okay, so it's sort of jumping around a little bit here. Um, but yeah, so this is actually quite good for making images and videos. I've been a bit inconsistent with it. I must admit. I did try the other day to ask it to make an image of a border collie jumping through the waves looking for a ball in the sea. And it gave me four different versions, but all four of them are pretty rubbish. So I didn't give it enough information inside that prompt. I asked it to make me a bit of a bee flight video, flying through the forest undergrowth, and they were all again a little bit ropey. So I'm kind of wondering up in this other screen how long. How many goes it took for people to make those good quality images and videos. But it is a free site. Okay, so you can create images and videos inside meta.ai for free. Okay, it's just somewhere to have a go with. Right. So that's all one thing, and you can actually treat it like a normal chatbot and just ask it questions. Okay. The other really good place to have a look at the moment is Grok. Grok is the sort of Elon Musk chatbot. that's come from nowhere to being really very good very quickly. It's had lots of money thrown at it, and they've just released their new model, Grok 4.1, and it is really good. It's a bit irreverent. You will get slightly different um information from it, shall we say. And it will let you do far more things. So this is the platform that will let you make celebrities and well-known people do things, or transform your image to be like them. It will allow that generally. And this is actually where I got that starter slide from for today. And literally all I did was I took a picture of my main screen and of the first slide, and I uploaded it into Grok and got it to animate it and bring it alive. And you can do it with all sorts of things. So here's a picture of a country scene. I uploaded it into Grok and said bring it alive, and it did this for me. Okay, it's really cool. Let's just see if we can show something with Grok. Okay, so we go into here. We've got here's the straightforward sort of chat bots for Grok. We've got a little bit of use of this new 4.1 model. And we can create images here. We can also pick personas as well, which is quite useful as well. So you can have a Grok therapist or an unhinged comedian if you want. But let's just do create image. And if we add down here, I'm just going to try and do something here. You can upload a file. We could draw a sketch, or I've got some other sort of screenshots that I've taken. Where's a good screenshot that we could do? Actually, I'm going to upload a file. And we'll just have a look at one of the screenshots I've done. I'll just try and choose something a bit random. Okay. It's this one. Let's see what this one is. Okay, that's just a bit of a sales video for something for Paul Mahoney. And just by uploading this video, and I haven't given it this image, I haven't given it any instruction, Grok just sets to work creating a little bit of an active video based around this image. Okay, and it's started to bring everything to life and animated stuff. And it's probably done some voice as well. We can change the video presets to fun or normal. I hope this was just normal or fun. I don't know what happens if we go fun. And yeah, you can get some really good one-shot thoughts. Yeah, Aaron, yeah, that was literally he's saying you can upload a photo on Grok and make it into a video. Yeah, you can. And it just sort of, if I wanted to, I could give it a bit more direction of what I wanted to, but it just generally takes that whole slide and animates it. Okay, here's the fun version. Um, okay, let me just see, because when I did it, it had a um, it had a voice track to it as well. So I don't know. It's pretty good, isn't it? It is pretty good. And honestly, you can take a picture of absolutely anything and put it in here. Okay. So if I honestly, if I just take one of those slightly the doll screenshot of the restaurant. Let's just see what it makes of this. Okay. And it just, off it goes. Goodness only knows what it's going to do because it doesn't have a lot of context to work with in here. Um, it's got to kind of make it up a little bit. Okay. Well, who was expecting that? Who was expecting that? Okay, it's fun. It's fun, Grok is. So it's worth having a play with, and you get to use this power for free. Sometimes you upload these images and it comes out with a bit of junk, but a lot of times they're pretty usable. They're pretty usable. You can do some funny stuff with it. So yeah, have a go at grok.com. I say this is one I did with Grok with just an upload, and we got a little bit of a fly through. Then finally, there's starting to be a whole batch of software out there where you can actually, instead of being tied to one image model, you can actually access multiple models through one dashboard. And OpenArt.ai is one of those. And let me just see if I've still got that open. And essentially, you can do all your sort of image creation and video creation stuff in here, but you could do it with lots of different things. So you could choose between Nano Banana, or you could choose between um, like 10 or 12 or 15 other different image generation platforms, the software engines there. Okay, and you can actually, it's really pretty cool. You can create some good stuff. In terms of pricing, you can get started for free, but as soon as I click on the free button, it's kind of like it moves that plan a bit behind. Otherwise, they get you onto a $14 a month subscription. Okay, so you're then working on AI credits. But yeah, this is where you can get the new Kling 01 model, Flux 2s, all sorts of stuff. Okay, so you can create loads and loads of images and videos with these platforms if you pay a relatively small amount for the content generation. And there's another site there. What was it called? Is it acrobat.ai? Uh, no, it might be another one. Um, there's more and more websites now where you can, I say you can um, access not just ChatGPT and Gemini and Claude. There's loads of different large language models that you can switch between in one place, and they're starting to become more and more popular, rather than uh, people paying the sort of £20 a month for just Gemini. Okay. Uh, Aaron says, have you heard of Higgsfield? Yeah, I've heard of Higgsfield. But basically, Aaron, there are loads and loads of these platforms. Okay, and you just have they're worth trying, and just sort of testing out to see if the user interface and what they create suits your needs. Okay, I'm trying really hard not to push people away from other platforms and just say no, you just must use um, um, Gemini or ChatGPT. No, it's whatever works for you. Okay, it's as simple as that. The world is a wonderful place. There's new software coming out all the time. So you can go to sites like future news, and see the new software that's coming out, or go to someone like Product Hunt and see all the latest AI software and just have a go with it and see if it floats your boat. Okay. So yeah, it's, if you find recommendations that you particularly like, then be happy to shout it out for other people to look at. But otherwise, it's a very much a personal choice. Very much a personal choice. Okay, right. I think that's everything that I had covered in here. Obviously, with images, we could go on forever. There are so many different ways of making images and videos. The best thing to do is just to get out there and have a go. Get AI to help teach you some of the language, dust down some of your other sort of wordings. Try better than me to get AI to create an image prompt for you. That bit gets edited out. And it's just having a go. So hopefully, um, Tony, you've never made an AI image before. Just go and have a chat with AI and start making some. Okay, give it some of the reference material around your business or and background for it to work on, and it will create better images for you. Okay, the more context, the better. Tony says, we'll do it through a children's book. Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, you can create lots of different sort of children's styles and children's book images with AI. It's really awesome. Okay, here's a reminder of the YouTube link. So youtube.com / ultimate business system is where we put the replays, and they will generally, I'll have those done by a Friday afternoon in the UK time, and then we post them up onto YouTube then. As ever, I think Max or Vish will be back next week, and they'll be back to something to do with the Ultimate Business System software and helping you build your business. No problem at all. Yeah, Steph says, great, just subscribe to the YouTube channel. Yeah, it's all good. All good. We appreciate it. That's great. June says Leonardo.ai is another good place. Yeah, Leonardo is fantastic. The sort of the image and the video creation sites are kind of like merging into one. These sort of there's not just a single image creation site and a video creation site. They're kind of like all mixed up together because you could do some fantastic stuff. And sometimes you get some fantastic first shot results like I've done today, and sometimes it just goes a little bit awry like I've done today as well. But hey, heads up and carry on, and it will be you just pick yourself up and get on with it. Okay, cool. Right, that's me for today. Back to the day job, and I've got a couple of last questions that have coming on here. Rohan says, thank you. That's no problem. Nico, thanks. Yeah. Aaron says, any recommended podcast to keep up to date with AI stuff? I'm finding more of videos, YouTube videos. There's a few YouTube channels that are very, very fast and with their content, and those tends to be the places where I see things drop first. So yeah, check out some of the major YouTube channels. They are really good and quite fun. They've got really professional, slick teams, unlike me on my own. Oh, I'm jealous of them. Right, no problem at all. And Aaron also says, is this the first one, or have I missed some already? Aaron, this is the 15th one. This is the 15th free surgery session. There are 14 videos on the YouTube channel from week 1 through to week 14. Okay, so there's loads to catch up with. Okay. and some of them are much more professional and slicker than this one. Jean says, thank you for the fantastic demonstration. Thanks for the information. Really instructive and useful. Thanks, Mum. No, much appreciated. That's what we're trying to do. We're giving you this for free to help you move forward. There's so much going on. It's great. Okay, brilliant. Lovely. I should better go and you get back to your days, and we'll see you next time. Okay, on the Internet Business School surgery sessions. I say it'll either be Max or Vish. Just a reminder for anyone who wasn't on the beginning that come Christmas time, we will be having a Christmas break. Okay, so we will not be running a session on Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve at 1 o'clock London time. Okay, so you can, and then we'll be back in the new year. Cool, lovely. Thanks very much, everyone. See you next time.